Hey Scorpio, this is your general tarot reading for Scorpio, Sun, Moon and Ascendant or Rising sign for the month of February. Scorpio, let's do this. We'll shuffle the cards and wait on all the right ones to come out for you, my love. And in the meantime, let's talk about the energy. Yes, let's talk about the lunar eclipse that happened at the end of January, and you felt it. You'll still be feeling it a little bit into February too. It happened in your 10th house, where there may have been a real moment where you grew in terms of how you felt finally about your career. It could have marked a moment where you said, I think something here really needs to change. I'm just not happy with the way it's going. I'm not happy with the burdens, with the pressures, with the responsibilities of doing something that isn't actually making me happy. It's a lot of work, a lot of pressure, a lot of commitment, but not a lot coming back in return. I have just become a workhorse and it's not fun anymore. So the pressure was on for you to see that, and you had to see it, maybe even under some challenging circumstances, in order for you to make that emotional transition. Scorpio, for some of you, there could have been a real moment where, you know, the way you're very good at being the power behind the throne, as we say, leading from behind. And you can be very good at being the force that holds everything together in your workspace, but allowing other people to be the front people, to be the one who face the public and blah, blah, blah. But you're in the control room back there, being the Scorpio mastermind. And I think something happened here, Scorpio, that alarmed you a little bit, that bothered you about, I'm going with this, about how you have given so much to somebody and helping them succeed. And yet when the time came for them to acknowledge how much work you've put into them, you didn't get that back. In fact, you were probably shaded. In some cases, there could have been a real moment where applause was being handed out and this person took the applause and didn't give you any credit whatsoever. And you thought, that shit has to change. I don't always want to be a front person, but I don't want to be dismissed and be a nothing. I keep this ship moving. I'm the one steering this. You know, you cannot push me into the background. You cannot take away my moment. Even if I'll come out, take a bow, and then go back into the shadows again, like the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain, and keep, you know, with the levers. But it's like, why am I never acknowledged? That needs to be changed. And for some of you, it does mark a real moment where there's a little wake-up moment where you say, how long has it been now that I have given of myself to promote somebody else's career, to promote somebody else's success in their life, to make them stand on their own 2 feet, to make them get in control of their lives. When was the last time I actually took control of driving my own life in a way that's not reactionary to the things going on around me or to my emotions, or but am I actually in control of this Scorpio ship? Am I steering it? And that's a real eye-opening moment for you, where it's almost like I keep feeling it like that, Scorpio. It's like, have I been asleep? Why was I not giving myself that same effort to promote myself into some position of glory, to promote myself as a responsible person, to be seen as the center of the family, the center of the workspace, the center of some group, some team? Why did I not get noticed? Why did nobody notice that I'm actually in control of this? So again, it's all that where you have to now rethink it all. Rethink whether you want to be responsible for somebody else. rethink your career. But there was something else coming to me there. Rethink, in some cases, rethinking your status. That could be whether you still want to be Mr. or Mrs. something, your marital status, your nationality, changing from one nationality to another, changing your status in some way. And that actually could be happening because you've got the Sun and Mercury then in your 4th house of homeland, feeling at home. Some of you could be changing something and making a new place your home, a new land, a new place, new environment your home, or starting again as a newly married person or as a newly single person. It's something has changed and you're now rediscovering your footing in where you are. Where do I stand? How do I stand here? What is this place? What is my environment? So there's a lot of that kind of thing going on, Now with the Sun and Mercury, as we enter the month in the 4th house, it's a lot to do with comfort food, comfort eating, comfort movies, comfort music, getting in with your own group of people, the people that matter to you, and nestling in like little hobbits together, pulling the blankets over each other and saying, let's not go anywhere, because this feeling of being secure, happy, at home, it's what I need now because I'm feeling very sensitive to the outside world. I need my good people around me. I need familiar things around me. And I need to have a little bit of a good cry. I know, some of you are saying, I don't think so. Yeah, you might too. It might be that moment where you find yourself, getting very sentimental. Or as some people say, sentimental. Yeah, getting sentimental over things. Taking out old photographs. Taking out old mementos of family members or things like that. Things that remind you of how to be back in that feeling of being at home. Being gentle with yourself, being kind with yourself, not going out and doing the gym, not, pumping the iron and doing heavy classes, but instead at home doing private yoga practices or things like that, where it's all just gentle. And in that space, there's a release, a psychic release, an emotional release. And then when it's released, there's also then the nourishment and the care and the attention to people who really need you and to people who you also really need. With Venus on February 3rd going into Capricorn in the 3rd house, it could be a moment where you really need good, funny, light-hearted people around you. People who are aware that you're kind of a little bit sensitive this month and don't want to delve too deeply, but instead want to watch stupid movies with you or just want to smile at you and, be around you. It's the vibe of something lighter because you can't handle, it seems this month, anybody with their heavy moods, heavy vibes, and heavy psychic shit. This is a space where you are closing off and getting into your little Scorpio capsule and not allowing anybody to dump their emotional shit in on you. So that's what I'm saying. The people who get to surround you this month are lighter, brighter, no drama, maybe even softly spoken people. But you can have some nice conversations with them. And you might even find that one person maybe that you always trust to talk to when you're in this kind of zone, that they might be able to help you through talking to them, just being on the phone, chatting, but kind of not getting too deep into it. But yet afterwards, when you put the phone down, it's like something in that felt like it made sense and I feel better. So it's food, good communication, good people, no drama, circling yourself off and just nestling in And it's very psychic in this space too, because you're getting so reconnected to feeling that inner home space in you. Some issues could come up from the past, some issues from a few years ago, maybe from your childhood, maybe from your early adult life, could come up. And you know, that you might get flashbacks of things, and you're saying, these are flashbacks of things that I don't want to remember. But you're in a safe space this month, Scorpio, where you're not going to be triggered by anything outside of you, so that you can deal with some of the memories that come up. And when you purge them and shed that old skin, then you don't have to live with it anymore. I get that feeling of, I don't want to live with that memory anymore. You don't have to. You don't have to, and you certainly don't have to put your life on hold anymore, Scorpio. Holding on to some past baggage. It's the month where you release that. So be gentle with your psyche. Be tender, be kind. And if you do have journeys, make them pleasure journeys. Venus in the 3rd house, she doesn't want to travel far. She just wants to go somewhere local, close, familiar. Go see her friends. Go see somewhere where she's only a few moments drive away from home. You know, short journeys, because anything more than that would be too much. And you're saying, oh my God, I sound like a bit of a wreck this month. What's going on? It's beautiful. It's actually really beautiful, because you're being given the opportunity, Scorpio, to reconnect to the emotions. And in that, you become stronger. You've transformed. Now, you now, under the lunar eclipse, only want to be seen in your best light. No matter how you shine that light, no matter how it's done, it's the best version of you. And you want to shine it. And your gift is always transformation, being Scorpio. And what you're allowed this month, Scorpio, is that kind of space to make that transformation unfold. So it's very nice. Very, very nice energy. And I really do think you'll enjoy it, very much so. Now, there is the new moon on February 4th, again in the 4th house. This is it, Scorpio. This is a month where the past might be replayed over and over again. Some of you might be doing regression work, actually actively digging back into the past. But now with the new moon, it's saying, you don't have to pretend the past didn't happen. You don't have to ignore it, because when you try to swallow it down, you're not digesting it. Bring it up and let it be gone, so you can start embracing a new future with the core people that matter to you in your heart and in your soul. 4th house is very often our temple, inside our temple. And I think it's time that you allow the doors of that temple open, so those who don't pray at your wonderful temple, that they may leave. And now the ones who only come to pray, be respectful, be honourable. They're the only ones now allowed into this new future. So do you see why this is so powerful? As this card hopped out, judgment, judging who gets to stay in your beautiful temple. And having the gift now, Scorpio, if you really work with this and go with the flow here, having the gift of releasing them once and for all. And you know who I'm talking about, because they're already on your mind as you get to this reading. Them, whoever they are. It's time. Bring it up. Even talk about it if you have to. But tell them to move on out of your heart space, out of your temple, because there is only room for the true beauty in there. And like I said, for those who are prepared to honour you in a very deep, long-lasting and enduring way. Okay? Gorgeous. I feel it, Scorpio. I feel I feel that real beautiful sense of being your own best carer. Like being a mom to yourself, or a grandparent, or a father, being somebody loving to yourself, being gentle with yourself as you go through this transformation, and allowing you the space that you need to digest what's been going on within your career, perhaps, or within the responsibilities that you've been taking on. And I'm actually getting, this is so weird, sometimes I feel things, sometimes I see things, but it's all, it goes different ways, different times. And I'm feeling a kind of a sleepiness. You need rest. And February is a month where you're allowed to rest. And it doesn't mean, you see, you've been going to bed early, you've been trying to sleep, and you're putting the hours in, you're getting the 8 hours or whatever, but you're not getting any quality because there's no rest here and here. But this is the moment where you say, I need rest. And the rest, it's not about having a comfortable bed necessarily, which does help. It's about having the, oh my God, I can rest. It's done. It's finished. I can sleep. I'm at peace. Nice. Nice. So you've let something go, very much so. I know that. I was going to go down a road there, but I don't know. For a general reading, I was going to say for some of you, there could be something to do with a father figure. Maybe asking for their advice, whether they're here or whether they're not here. You could be asking, what would they do? Or something. You'll know what this is. You'll know it, but it's peaceful. That's all I can say. February 10th, Mercury in Pisces. Nice position for you in the 5th house. So your mind is on taking what you've learned, everything we've described, and then beginning to shine again with that. Your shine is coming back, your beautiful twinkle in your eye, your little bling in your smile is coming back, and the little radiance in your heart is coming back. And you're in the mood now from about February 10th to only engage with people that make you happy. For those of you in a relationship, you're really putting your mind now, after the 10th, say, to making your communication happier, more loving, more fun, creative, getting back to how the two of you can be on a really deep and happy level. I'm feeling that. That's beautiful. Getting lost in each other again, in the love that you have for each other. Yeah? And for those of you looking for love, I mean, if you're in that zone where you've now started to radiate this beautiful shine again, I'm sure that you won't have any shortage of people who want to listen to you, excuse me, and who want to talk to you and speak beautiful words of love to you. It's poetic. It's really nice. Pisces, the poet, the dreamer, the one who is unconditional love, being in the 5th house of expression. I don't know if some of you saw that, but I saw that. There was something floating past there, yeah. But I feel that it was the feeling of love, gentle spirits. You see, that's what I'm feeling here. Kind and gentle spirits who want you to be happy because it seems like you deserve the purge. You need to clean your space and bring that shine back into your life again. And spirit, 4th house energy, then Mercury in Pisces, speaking to spirit in a very happy and unconditional love way. They'll come and they'll listen and they'll give you what you need to push you more forward in that space Okay, Scorpio, this is going to be a heart month. As I'm talking to you, I feel the energy of ancestors, spirits, love, connection, truth, home, wrapped around you. There'll be tears, there will be tears, but tears because you are whole in your spirit. Beautiful, beautiful. Mars goes into Taurus on Valentine's Day, February 14th. And this is a time where, okay, it's a few things. You might find that you have to put a bit more passion and drive, which you do have now, into putting the flame back into the relationship. You're now in this mode of good quality whole food, things of the land. This is my home, re-establishing my home. Maybe some of you have moved to a new home, but it's re-engaging with your partner or people really close to you through food, through good wine, through not eating shit. Now you can go back next month and eat shit if you want. I'm not going to preach stop eating shit. I'm not saying that. It's got to taste right. It's got to feel right. It's got to touch your senses. It's got to be shared between you and somebody that you love. And even if it's only a friend, it's that indulgence into being passionate. Go somewhere together. If there's a food tasting or a wine tasting, a whiskey tasting, whatever, tequila tasting or whatever it is you want, see if you can go somewhere where you share an experience of something very quality, very luxurious, and the passion that comes with that. It's very powerful. Feeding, you're being fed. The universe is feeding you this month. And in turn, you're radiating that and sharing that. Scorpio, you're somebody to be around this month, particularly in the second half of the month, because you are exuding this sensuality and passion and happiness, but from such a place. I love it. I love it. I'm going to have to move on because we've one card. I'm getting lost in your energy, Scorpio. That's what's happening to me. I'm feeling your future energy, and I just want to sit here and say, okay, I'll just stay in this Scorpio energy. I'm happy here, just sitting here with you. I love it. I love it. But the sun then goes into Pisces, February 18th. Again, gorgeous to revive the feeling of love and creativity. For those of you who are trying to create something, this is a real moment where you could find success. I really feel spirits here, really, but happy spirits. That it's very pleasant energy. I got one sound that was like, get into nature. Now this, I know this can't be for everybody, but get into nature and listen to the birds. And you're saying, oh my God, what? She's for the birds. I heard it. I heard somebody whistle. And I heard someone whistle too, and they said, it's a very particular whistle. I'm sorry now, I'm just going down a road here. It can't be for everybody, but somebody, their father, they had a particular whistle that you recognize. They whistled a tune or something, and they said, oh, okay, I feel that. They said, you'll recognize that I'm there when you hear the whistle. Sorry. You see, when that happens, Scorpio, if you think I'm just doing something weird here, when that happens and I pass a message on, I get flooded. It's like it comes through me with a thank you, and it goes through my heart. So it makes me emotional. Sorry about that. But if that's a message for somebody, get out into nature, observe the birds, and when you hear, I think they're two separate messages. When you hear me whistle, it's me. It's a male, it's a father, grandfather, it's a male. Anyway, so, Scorpio, psychic month for you. I'm picking that all up. February 19th, full moon in Virgo in the 11th house. This is a real moment where, again, you're leaving behind all the plans that you once had for your future in order to start again with the new moon in Aquarius, starting again, doing something that's more connected, earthier, connected to you. You could leave behind a group of friends or a team in work. Still feeling all this stuff around me, Scorpio. And you know what's nice? It's just there's gentleness. I feel somebody just with their hand on my shoulder here. And they're just, it's almost like they're saying, you're doing a good job. And that message is for you. Somebody putting their hand on your shoulder saying, you're doing a good job. Relax. It's calm. It's a gentle hand on your shoulder saying, calm. Tightness. You had tightness in your shoulder, I think. And all the tension, I'm feeling that. They're saying there was so much tension and anxiety and full-on pressure. They're just putting their hand, relax, calm. Don't get everything so all worked up inside yourself. Calm. They're saying don't get triggered that you ultimately think that you're dancing to everybody else's tune. This is the month where you hear your own music. I heard people whistling, I heard birdsong, I hear people saying now dance to your own music. It's time where you start listening, Scorpio, to what you're saying to yourself, rather than just being somebody who responds to a series of things that are catching your attention on the outside. Because that's other people's music. Find your own words. Find your own sound. When was the last time you actually listened to yourself and what you need? Scorpio, I've one card and I have a feeling that this tarot reading has been hijacked a little bit by being an energy and psychic reading. So what I'll do, I will pull some cards here and I'll see what's going on, because this is long already. I'm still listening to see if I hear something, feel something. You've been having tension in your head. Stress. Overthinking. And I just keep hearing the same kind of vibe as, it's okay to cry. Have you been really holding it in, Scorpio? Really holding it in? It's okay to cry. It's okay to... This is going to sound... I hope I put it the right way. It's okay to accept that the road you had been on was too difficult. And it got more and more progressively difficult, deliberately, to show you that you were on the wrong road. Now you're coming back home to regroup. So the new road that you take is one that you make, that you create, that puts a fire in your belly. Create. There's the energy there for some of you of even wanting to create a new life in the form of a child, or bring a new pet into your life perhaps. Now, under this unusual energy, Scorpio, I'm just going to bring up the cards. I'm still feeling something, and it's the silence. It's like I have a group of spirits around me, and rather than what they can sometimes do is pass messages, it's more like the silence of the peace. That's the message. The message is, be quiet. Say nothing. Okay, maybe that might mean something to you too. Maybe saying nothing has power, but it's silence. It's almost like February is going to be a cathedral of silence and respect for your own inner divinity or your own spirit. Okay, let's do this. So we know what you're doing. You've made a judgment call and all the things we've spoken about. You've made a judgment call with your career, with certain dynamics within your career, certain things that you've taken responsibility for. You've made a judgment call on that, and you're changing things up. You're coming up with a new plan, a new strategy, with some new ideas that will help you change it up a bit, to bring a plan about that's more successful for you, Scorpio. There's also this thing now of it's time to let the old wounds go. It's time to open that sanctuary, as I said, and let those people or that person out, so that you can get on with the business of being victorious in your future ideas. Cleaning your head. I get the feeling, Scorpio, that your head was occupied by too many problems and by too many people that you might not even have relationships with anymore, but they're from the past. It's time to re-strategize and allow that to bring you to victory by releasing them, expanding your sense of inner security, expanding your spirituality, and holding on to that and feeling comforted by it, contained by it, safe, feeling safe, and the sun shining on that. This is where success is coming. This is where the healing is coming. So the cards are really just reflecting everything we've spoken about so far, Scorpio. If there was a real worry about money here, I'll just say that that's definitely going to improve this month. You don't have to feel like you have to hold it all so tightly. In everything too, in your body, there's healing coming. You can't believe what I'm feeling here. Such heart energy coming here for you, Scorpio, and healing energy. Your body and soul are being healed. This is becoming quite an abstract reading. I know that. I do apologize to anyone who doesn't know what the hell is happening right now. I'm reading it. I don't know what the hell is happening right now, but we have to go with it. We have to listen. It's the point for February for you. There's a moment where you recognize mid-month that you've been really sitting on the fence about something for too long, about your future. Excuse me. You haven't been allowing yourself to be optimistic for your future. You haven't been allowing yourself feel that you can take greater control of where your future is headed. Because you've been in so many different places with your mind, trying to keep everybody happy, seeing both sides of every story. Maybe if I did that career, should I do that? Should I not do that? Too much. Trying to keep everybody sweet. Trying not to make a decision that hurts other people. Has to change now, Scorpio, because your job here is to be pleasant. It's not to hurt anybody, of course, but it's your sole purpose in life is not to accommodate other people. Your next move is the new moon in Aquarius style card, into your future, with a greater sense of peace about making decisions for yourself, and not feeling one bit guilty about that, not feeling one bit remorseful that you have actively decided to do something that another person might not be happy with. They will have to get used to it. Whereas before, you got used to it. You got used to compromising. You got used to being the one who didn't get what they needed. The shoe must be on the other foot now. It's time that they get used to the idea now of not getting your compliance all the time, of not getting you just going along with everything, agreeing just to keep the peace. Your future involves a greater sense of decision making. I don't know, I'm hearing noises here. I don't know if it's been picked up on the sound here. It's the spirit, it's the spirit. You know what, it feels like a soup. It's thick with spirit. It really, really is. And it's beautiful. I want to say that, don't get scared about this. It's like a blanket. It's very soft, it's very gentle, and it's very encouraging and warm. And that's what you're getting. I don't know if you're hearing it. It's little noises coming through. Now, here's the thing. When you do make that decision to go into your future, making decisions that suit you and you alone, based on what you've now reflected upon this month in February, you'll turn your back on some of the bigger challenges, the unnecessary competition, the unnecessary wars, the unnecessary fights, the unnecessary battles. People who are quite aggressive in nature, it seems you're turning your back on them and looking more towards a future with softer people. People who are gentler, more intuitive, future-oriented people. People who are willing to accept where you're going in your future. If it's a battle with somebody, it's not right. It's not where your future wants you to go. Your future wants you to be gentler. Yeah. Surround yourself with the water signs. Somebody else got this in one of the readings too. Was it I can't remember, I'll think now. Surround yourself with the water signs. Again, water, Neptune and Pisces in the 5th house. Towards the end of the month, I will say this, there's a great healing coming between you and, I think, an old love that you never cast out of your heart. They had disappointed you, hurt you, abandoned you, perhaps really deeply wounded you. And there's a moment where you heal that, where you grow through that, where you understand it, where you level up and say, I can leave that behind. What you also seem to be leaving behind is the feeling of being burdened by some hurt. Somebody who hurt you. Somebody who hurt you. You're leaving them behind, and you are not carrying that burden anymore. You're over it. You're over somebody's old influence on you. And you're slowly and steadily leaving February, bringing a greater sense of balance back to your purpose in this life, to your happiness, to your joy, to your direction in life. He's come from the choppy waters and he's finally found safe, dry land again. He's home again. And now that he's on solid ground, he's able to balance again. Scorpio, you've no idea of how electric the energy here is right now. And you're going to feel that. I'm reading your energy for February. Enjoy it, my beautiful. This was quite a specific generalized reading. Of course, by now you know if you want to go and get the deeper reading to talk about love, relationships, if you're single, money, career, family, friends, anything like that, we'll open that up in the VIMEO readings, the deep read. It's all linked down there below, Scorpio. Come along and see if we can focus on those things, because right now the energy is just so incredibly peaceful, but at the same time it's sizzling and crackling with intense energy, and that's for you. So like I said, come to the deep read, link down there below to open up the subjects a bit deeper. But in the meantime, my gorgeous, I'm going to leave you with the nicest, most beautiful, happy, pleasant energy that you're going to experience this month. And I'm going to leave you with a big Valentine's kiss too. Mwah! My darling, until next month. Bye. Enjoy.